94.3 The Dude is very grateful to our men and women in uniform. We're proud to recognize local members of our military by turning the spotlight on them right now in our Soldier Salute.
Welcome to the Soldier Salute. I'm your host, U.S. Marine veteran Ethan James, and today I have the founder of the 22K Ruck March for 22 and nationally recognized motivational speaker, retired U.S. Army veteran Sean the Veteran Guy Laurie. Sean, tell me a little bit about yourself and your time in the Army.
Well, my name's Sean Laurie. I have a personal brand called Sean the Veteran Guy. I live in South Carolina. I'm originally from Indiana. Been all over the place. My father was in the Army. Spent 20 years in the military. So then I came here to South Carolina with him and been here ever since. Joined the military in 2004. It was a couple years right after 9/11 happened. Spent 9 years in the military, did 2 deployments, got retired out in 2012.
Did your road to the military start with your father's legacy?
Oh, yeah. He did 20 years in the military. His last tour of duty was in Fort Campbell. He was 101st Airborne. I actually went to the Fort Campbell High School, played the football team and all, so I was an Army brat. We traveled all over the country, and my grandmother served, and my grandfather served, and that was one of the biggest reasons why I always had it in me that I wanted to join the military. You know, my whole family did it, and plus the time that I was living here in South Carolina, it was pretty tough, so I was just looking for some change, and we all saw the Iraq War going on TV, and it just hit me like, man, I got to do this. Joined the military in 2004, went to Fort Leonard Wood, knocked out basic and AIT, and started my career with the South Carolina National Guard is where I started. Ended up getting like 5 years of active duty time.
Sean, thanks so much for being here. You're very unafraid to let people know that you struggled with an opioid addiction after your last deployment. Is overcoming that addiction what led you to helping the veteran community so much?
Oh, big time, man. If it wasn't for me ever getting clean, I would have never been who I was today, because more likely I'd have been in prison or I'd have been dead. I would have been that veteran story that went overseas, did what he did, and came back home and ended his life or whatever because I was so miserable. But yes, when I got clean, it's like the whole world opened up to me again. It was like I was seeing everything again for the first time. It was just like, wow, what are you doing? Like I could actually look back and see everything that I did. I could see my mistakes. I finally woke up. And what I wanted to do was, since my brother took his life, I started doing research, and I started realizing that we were losing 22 veterans every day to suicide. And so I started doing a little more research, trying to find out what was going on. I started to talk to people on social media. Come find out, about 90% of us that came out of combat struggle with mental health, struggle with addiction, struggle with alcohol-related problems, marital problems, financial problems, whatever. There's huge problem going on in the veteran community, and veterans are ending their life because of it. And so I said, you know what, maybe I could be the guy that can come out and share my story and give people hope. And say, you know what, if this guy can do it, I can do it. If this guy can change his life, I can change my life.
Through your public speaking, through your social media presence, are you finding that your message is helping a lot of veterans? Are you seeing a lot of success in veterans around you just from telling your story?
Yes. Like I said earlier, I get a lot of messages, and I actually see people changing their lives. And there's this one particular guy, we'll say his name's Michael. He's been struggling for years, PTSD, depression. He's been struggling with his marriage. I took the time out just for the past 6-7 months, and about every week we're talking on the phone. I'm always encouraging him. He's always watching my stuff. And this man has actually literally changed his life. He's gotten out of a bad toxic marriage. He's happy now. He quit drinking. He's doing great stuff. This is what I tell people. If you live your life and you're around a bunch of toxic people, a bunch of people that put you down and don't believe in you, you're going to stay that way. You need to put yourself around people that are positive. You need to put yourself around people that believe in you. You need to put yourself around people that have the same mindset as you, and you'll be successful in whatever it is you're trying to do. He wanted to quit drinking. He wanted to get out of a toxic marriage. So he had me to fall back on that helped him through this journey. And so now he's being successful, and that's what it takes, is having good people in your life.
In the time that we live in, social media is enormous, right? There are communities inside of social media that are impacting people in really positive ways. Have you found it really beneficial, the social media aspect of helping veterans?
Oh, yeah, man. Social media is, especially with the younger generation now, they have so much of a better opportunity to be successful in so many different avenues. But, yeah, man, social media is the platform, because if you have a message and you can create an audience of people that support you, you could do anything you want to do, and it's just absolutely amazing. That's how I got my message out. I just started going live. I started telling my story. I mean, I wasn't expecting anybody to follow me or care. I just wanted to put it out there. Before you know it, 15,000 followers later, all over social media, you know, it's just I'm getting my story out, and it's changing lives. I have hundreds and hundreds of emails and texts of people saying, Sean, thank you for the video that you made the other day. You changed my life. Thank you for the phone call. You changed my life. Thank you for your message. I take that like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do now. I found my purpose, all because of social media, really. Honestly, I mean, it started with me. It started with me wanting change, but if I would have never had a platform to put my story out there, I might not have ever changed any lives, and I might have fallen back into what I did. So now I see myself as a leader, and there's no way I can go back to that lifestyle, right? Because people are depending on me. People are looking up to me to be a leader, and if I'm the guy that's doing the stupid things I was doing, how can I change any lives?
You didn't stop at spreading your message on social media, and you didn't stop at your Vet Life for Life Facebook page that has over 3,000 members on it. You're actually the founder of something called the 22K for 22. Tell me a little bit about the 22K.
2018, after I've created the group, after I've done a lot of speaking events and done some great stuff, I wanted to do something in the community. So I created this thought process, this quote that says, don't just talk about it, be about it. And I started realizing that I did a lot of talking. I did a lot of motivating. I showed a lot of people that I was living a better life than I used to be, but where's the action at? And so I said, you know what, we need to curate some kind of event to get people involved and engaged. So I said, let's do a 22K for 22, which is we get a bunch of people together, patriots, veterans, law enforcement, everybody that loves our veterans, and let's all get together and do a ruck march. And that was my first year. And actually this year would have been our second annual, but with the COVID going on, it kind of got canceled. But we got it going on September the 19th. I actually had a bunch of friends reach out to me like, hey, man, our organization's doing the same thing. And so I had a good friend of mine from State 22. He reached out to me. He's like, hey, bro, we're up in Ohio. We're doing the same thing you're doing. You want to come up here and join us? So I drove from South Carolina to Ohio just to join them. I spoke on stage, and we joined their hike. So we have people all over the nation that are doing the same thing now, and we all support each other.
You're well known for overcoming a very, very strong opioid addiction. Tell me about the deployments that led up to this addiction.
We got deployed the first time. It was in 2007. I was excited. I was ready to go. That was my first choice I wanted to do. So I was preparing for Iraq, and then we turned around and got orders to go to Afghanistan. And I was like, oh, okay, what's going on over there? Like, we didn't even hear what was going on over there at the time. But I jumped on it. Entire deployment, I was running around doing logistics, running trucks, 5 tons. It was an easy-peasy tour. It wasn't that bad. I mean, we had, some things happen.
So the problems that were going to lead up to this addiction didn't show themselves until that second deployment.
Oh, yeah. 2010, we actually got deployed again. I was ready. We were doing route clearance. It was just great. It was a good deployment as far as a lot of camaraderie and a lot of experience, but it was also way different than my first one. Like, we've had a lot of casualties. We had a lot of IED hits. Well, I was hit twice. Probably about 4 months before we were over, we were on a dismount mission, and I took a break from the Husky, and I was in the back of the MRAP. I went out to jump out to a dismount mission, and I already had a hurt leg from training, but I kept pushing through, and I jumped off and landed sideways or something. You know how it is. You got all that gear on your back.
Oh, yeah.
I jumped off. I heard my knee pop, and it swelled up like a watermelon, and yeah, it was pretty bad. About a couple weeks later, Commander decided to send me the guitar to get an MRI done, and that's when they found that I had busted my ACL open or split it in half, and my meniscus was tore, and it was crazy.
Sean tells his story across the United States to help other veterans suffering from addiction and raise awareness to other mental health issues of our veterans. If you'd like to learn more about his story, you can go online to 943thedude.com and click on the Soldier Salute, or you can check him out on Facebook at Sean the Veteran Guy. If there was somebody listening to your story right now, they said, man, I really want to beat my addiction. I really want to get over my post-traumatic stress. I really want to get rid of the demons that have been haunting me for so long. What would your message be to them right now?
My message to you would be, first of all, reach out. Don't worry about the stigma. There's still people out there from the Vietnam era and a lot of the older generations that think a certain way just because of how hard they had it. But the new generation, the guys from the Iraq and Afghanistan war, we understand it. Most of us been living that life. You're not alone. You need to reach out to a battle buddy, reach out to somebody, find a Facebook group that's about addiction or recovery, or join Vet Life for Life. Go check my group out, or hit me up on Sean the Veteran Guy. Send me a message. I'll be there to help you. Just don't give up. You're not alone. We're all struggling, and you can overcome this if you just find the right people to talk to and the right people to support you. We're not here to judge you at all. I don't judge nobody. We all have a story. Just don't give up.
Thanks for joining us in our Soldier Salute, presented by Little Pigs Barbecue, serving Columbia since 1963 with that bodacious buffet. And Palmetto State Armory, American made for life. And Franklin Equipment. Rent, buy, rely. And Atkins Law Firm Workers' Comp Attorneys. Who you hire matters.